big fan of compositions that rely too heavily on just an Alistar for engage, but when the nameplate says on, I don't really care what he's playing. He's gonna find the angles, and when you have that layered, that shotgun style composition, he is someone that can make it work.
Level 6 and Pantheon has level 6. That range of engage and follow-up is very, very massive. So you see Beishuan there, hovering and covering on that timer. Make sure that he is safe. And retaining, look at all this vision control. He's first into the river by Dragon, and since Knight's got mid-pressure,
Skewmont finding some additional damage onto Beishuan, trying to disincentivize any kind of dive, any aggressive play here. Does win out for now in the 1v1. Hits him with a thumbs up, Alpaca. We'll love to see it. But Knight, of course, does just drop a bear on Caps' head to make sure that he can keep this lane prio. And you mentioned that both champions want to roam, but Knight might be looking for a little bit more. Electrocute! A blinking L4! Now Knight slow! They're both still standing. There's a fight in the river in the meantime, but I do not care. Keeping my eyes on the mid lane 1v1, but the river might be important now, because it's been who finds. And again, the combo is scary here. A Grub taken down. Solar Flare doesn't quite connect. Elk able to walk away. G2 may just need to back off, and they are going to. LeBron, quick flash out. They recognize the power that Elk can bring to bear. A single piece of CC hitting very likely means a beat.
because again, he still has no flash. Mid lane,
There's
though,
the
it's
global.
dead.
Skewmont extra movement speed coming in from the Aegis is all Knight locked up, locked down. Timbers on the way in, but not doing a hell of a lot. Knight taken out by the Weirding, and that's what we talked about.
Solo laners are AP solo laners on the side of BLG. Broken Blade investing so heavily into that magic resistance here on the Ornn to be able to deal with either one. Just sustain, sustain.
And I will say that Annie lacks in sustained damage, so that Kamek Rookerin, that's what he chooses to go for here. I imagine it will be. Is going to be pretty solid as we see the engage on the bottom side. Lebrov stepping a bit too far, but he does manage to find the lockup. Quick cleanse and a sidestep from Elk means he's A-OK on body blocking the Mystic shots. There's no follow-up. Lebrov Caps, but we need to see that peak performance from him in this game today, especially when he's the one who got those early kills.
Wow.
And especially as Broken Blade might be in trouble. Flash forced out. Bin on the way in. He's blown the horn. Bin's respecting it. But Broken Blade is in dire straits. Ooh, tower aggro continues though. He might be able to get one back. It's the 1-for-1.
Even with the max HP nerf to Rumble, he just roasts on through this Kanek Rooker and Ornn. Absolutely melted.
Fight continuing on the bottom side though. Quick bit of lockup, but no follow-up. Beishuan, good use of the ultimate to stay standing on immediately using the Unbreakable Well. Now the retreat going in, but it's Caps off to the side of the Weirding, but they've just been locked up. It's a beautiful combo. Knight and Elk dealing a death blow.
Oh, Dracos, that is the juicy combo that you're looking
flash
for.
In the headbutt pull. Knight gets another 300 gold, another half of an item. It would have been 3, no doubt. These are the combos that have to be respected. As you see, we can't stop. There are plays happening. There's not enough time to react to the previous play. Broken Blade. Oh, the footwork is good at the very least.
Very quickly. BLG not really worried about the Dragon stacking. Just want
Unless the Herald comes down. And of course the Herald for the Drake. Soul coming through will be Ocean, which honestly isn't bad for either team.
Yeah, not too bad.
Might try to catch Elk. As they see an angle, but Elk's movement clean thus far. Lockup from Lebrov is there. Pantheon now coming in as well. Elk is already cleansed, but he's still been stunned. Pantheon is going to force the flash. Ornn Horn called, and this is the combo. Broken Blade sniping with the ult, but it's Knight looking for the follow-up. Waiting out the Aegis Assault for Skewmont, but he knows he doesn't have an angle anymore. On, though, may be the one in trouble. Instant use of the Unbreakable Will, and a quick retreat from the side of BLG as G2 are keeping the pressure up.
Oh man, Elk, that was very cocky. He really wanted to use that move speed, but under tower, actually, Broken Blade starts to take a couple tower shots, does flash.
Equalizer, decent amount of ticks here. Broken Blade might be in trouble. Where is he going? Herald on the way in, so he didn't want to walk into River. Broken Blade slowly being burnt down. Beishuan going in mid lane into 3 members of G2! And he is unconcerned! The Herald will not finish the tower!
We watched the Ornn get chased down. Well, we got a little drive-by side story here, Daniel. Beishuan goes into the turret. It's super low. It actually didn't quite fall. But we have Caps still focusing on the side lane turrets. Gets immediately back out to the side. He actually does finish it off. Of course, Elk will be able to return and finish this one. But again, out in mid lane, he gets teleported on
the Tibbers, but does give you the flexibility to be used as an escape. Kansama slowed. engage on Sama. Now moving back. Elk slowed briefly. TP coming in from Broken Blade. Likely the horn to be called. Everybody's invited to the party in the mid lane now. Elk locked up. Where's the follow-up coming from G2? They don't quite have the cooldowns. And now G2 trying to finish off this mid lane tower. Knight just now resetting. And it seems like BLG will have to concede it.
There it is, G2.
Yep. Good use of the buffer on the Arcane Shift as well. Knows that he can play forward and doesn't have to be too concerned as long as he has that crucial cooldown. Cap's ready to go over the wall if needed, goes invisible. Not quite clear where he's going. Alti gonna try to escape, but the knockup is good. Weirding back into the wall will take him out. Beishwan incredibly low. Is he willing to risk the 50-50? 0.7, quick Drake picked up by the side of G2.
Looks like Otacon here going down.
BLG know that if they give G2 the chance to reset, that they won't have that crucial cooldown. So they're demanding that G2 come to them. They're demanding for the fight, but they don't have the angle. Oh no! From the bush, he finds the knockup. He only locks up a few. G2 now trying to retreat. Labrov on the way out, standing next to the wall, looking to find the lockdown. Hansama trying to lay down a little bit more focused fire, but BLG get the objective. They get the kill, and they walk away.
The commit from BLG is so good. They went over
because they didn't respect those semi-globals, but as long as they're grouped as 5, they're just walking into a 5v5 at the end of the day at most. As Labrov once again caught out, good lockup on the Knight. CC there trying to take the AD out before he can help, but Knight still manages to get it down. Skewmon in the fight as well. Caps, beautiful ulti across the team. Lockup on Elk, but he's still able to full chain on the ulti. That shouldn't be allowed, but Caps can't get close enough to finish the job, and now it's Broken Blade falling as well. 3 down on the side of G2 and BLG. They're ready for a Baron.
Yep, that's going to be Baron for sure. Caps pops the blast cone. I don't know what shenanigans he could pull out here.
This one's fast. W flash, wind becomes lightning. They were already pretty much guaranteed to get the objective. They're happy to have Caps as well.
Yeah, they'll take the extra rabbit for free right there. Beishwan with the W flash hunts him down. They're going to get the Baron as well. BLG taking over.
And again, it felt like G2 were starting to find a way back into the game, even when the gold still favored BLG, but the bot side fight, the force on the Otacon into that mid lane play. Those are the people that are the most fed, Kobe. Those are the people we talk about the entire game. BLG didn't even need them.
It's kind of crazy too, because Misfortune is a controversial champion. Because you're like, oh, it's oftentimes hard to get your full channeled ult off, especially if you're playing against, a Leona or an Ornn.
Or an Ornn. Yes.
These champions are exactly what she doesn't like playing against. But those ultis from Ornn and Leona were used to kill off Knight and lock down him. So that meant those things weren't available to stop it, you know, when Elk did get to start channeling. And as you said, on as well with that CC, able to lock up Cap. So good stuff there from BLG. Of course, they take down the bottom side pretty effortlessly. It's for them because the map is so dark. And they're trying to just find a way here. Try and find any little shred of hope.
On a single Hex Flash, could have gone over the wall, could be a combo. You can't tell if Knight is waiting, and it's not like it was previously. That brief couple-minute window where Knight didn't have a flash. G2 don't have that edge anymore. Every single brush could be a death sentence, could be the end of game 1 for G2. Playing under so much pressure here as On gets the fight started. Perhaps over-eagerly, though. He's too low on health already before the fight breaks out. Unbreakable well, keeping him standing, but he's been sniped. Locked up, taken down by the bot lane duo, and it's Beishwan who's running. Pantheon going in. Has he overcommitted? Beishwan locked up. Skewmon taking a bit more time. Waits on the Aegis Assault. The minions in the base, though, demand a bit more attention. Knight can't just TP. G2 can't afford to push any further.
Really good punish from G2. On ulted so late there. He went for his combo, and then gets chunked down the tower once again. Caps is recalling here, and this tower is so low. You don't want to die at this tower. These secondary ones are usually bait for the defending.
Ready to catch someone out. The BLG, again, the flash is there for Knight. G2 have to be so careful. Everyone's fingers is on their flash key, ready to go out or in a moment's notice. Caps hasn't been spotted. Beishwan posturing down.
What is the over-under on Elk channeling another ultimate this team fight?
Based on what we've seen so far, all signs indicate probably he will. But G2 will look to stop it. Initial engage comes in from On. Caps not able to find the flank.
Ult. Alistar ult is critical for team fights. G2 getting that ult out is massive.
Ulti now. They're going to try to force the fight. Lock up onto Beishwan. Ulti connects onto the 80 carry, and instantly they're into the backline. Caps manages to lay down the ult, but Elk is still standing. He shouldn't be alive, but he holds on just a little bit longer. There's no space for him to ulti, though, and that is all that matters. G2 on the edge of death managed to find the fight.
They do it. G2 take him down. I mean, On popping that Alistar ultimate.
This is crucial. BLG, one more good fight probably wins them the game, but G2 have held on. They're getting things closer. They're getting things back to even. It's only a 2K gold difference. 20 seconds.
Yeah. Inside the base. All right, On. What can he do now?
Low health bars.
No ulti for him. He can't even get to that wave.
There's a wave unanswered in bot lane. If G2 lose this fight, it's an instant TP, and the game is over in favor of BLG. On, locked up. Alistair trying to clear. One tower down, but G2's eyes are set on the prize. The nexus of BLG, and it might just be a single fight. It might be a single moment. Skewmon, Broken Blade, they're trying to finish the GA! He doesn't have it, there's no way. The flash, it's not enough! Caps is already back!
Teleport the ends, they're teleporting up there!
He has to end.
In on RG, Caps RG too!
Sorry boys, this is personal. The rest of you set up for an objective. Caps goes for the ulti. Bin goes golden, buys a bit more time. Bear taking that health so damn low. Tower still standing, but Bin's already gotten one. Labrov back up, 10 seconds on Hans, 15 on Broken Blade. Bin wants to finish the objective. He's not waiting any longer. Lockdown there. Minion's not going to do enough. Knight and Bin back to finish the game. BLG, get it done.
Oh! So very clearly here, you know, they're looking to farm with the Sivir and play for that big farm condition. Double poke gets locked in alongside the Varus though, so on the bottom side though.
And no surprise to see Skewmon pathing down bottom side. We've all seen Beishwan on red side make that dive happen so many times at early levels. Caps, though, gets caught by the flick. A good charm to follow. Knight relatively out of mana, but he might not need it. One more auto in the 1v1.
Vi Ari.
Skewmon and Labrov, because that one's fake. Knight, the Q flash, perfect from Skewmon. He spent his time at practice tool. Knight taken down. Beishwan, a quick knockback into the wall, but it's just too late. Is he going to give his life as well? Nice fall breaker, good follow-up damage. One more auto, and it's Labrov to grab another.
It is Skewmon and Labrov, the additions on G2 that come help make the difference. After Caps got solo killed by Knight, these two come and correct the situation. Plus getting that extra one onto Beishwan is huge.
Ooh, Elkin on. Playing forward, knowing that they need to keep this wave away from their tower. They don't spot Skewmon, but luckily they have that control ward in inventory so they can regain control over Tribrush. Broken Blade still feeling comfortable here. 4 members on the way down. Weaver's Wall available for Knight. The clone dancing, continuing. Obnoxious that that's cool, but it works. On. A little bit of damage down. Labrov in trouble. Flick back hits, but it doesn't knock him into the Unraveled Earth. Keep your eyes on that arrow coming in from Elk. It only manages to connect on the clone, and G2 are able to walk away.
There as well as Bin.
And while G2 have gotten some advantage out of having that Nico, the plays in mid lane, we need to see what it looks like as we get closer to level 6, where you can really start to outvalue that Karma. Beishwan hovering mid, but this is the struggle of a pick like this, Garner. It is comfort for Beishwan, but it doesn't have that same point-and-click reliability against a champion like Ari. You really need Knight to be there as well as the flash comes in from Bin. Instant ulti, wall laid down 2, flick back to the other side of the wall as he takes it down and knocks Skewmon down.
I like that. Bin making the sound look like an assassin here. Flashes in, gets it, they pick it up. Knight grabbing the kill. Caps comes over to mess with the grubs.
Play bottom lane. Hansama ulting. Labrov likely to fall. Kill finish. Feet of Warfare as Elk grabs that one. That lethality Varus really starting to hurt. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, you saw Beishwan, I think, over-eager starting the grubs after that play had already gone in their favor. Knight and Bin really couldn't support. So G2 will at least get these two back, even without a jungler in the area, as Beishwan's just...
So once again, jungle support moving up to try and get that mid lane vision.
Ulti there, lockdown onto Elk, and this is the problem with the Varus, as good as he looked for the...
With the dragon spawning, because those cooldowns are going to be quite meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, and Caps doesn't have Malignance completed, as we see the lockup is there. Looks like easy pickings onto Skewmon, on in position, a lot of healing though, and Skewmon's able to make it away. Sunder Sky is the difference as the charm connects, and Labrov is ready! A 3-man. Hansama is here. It's only one item on the Sivir, but he might have enough to get it done. Fortunately, he doesn't. It's G2 over-eager. Labrov has to try and sidestep, but Beishwan's just ready to throw rock on his head. And in the meantime, it's Bin breaking down.
Yeah, and well, let's see here. They're going to be a little bit late coming over. doesn't look like it'll be meaningful. But I have to point out, once again, you already did earlier with the bin graphic, calling Skewmond as well on the Vi. His ultimate is back up and available with addition of Caps, and they're going to go for the dive.
Waiting for the angle, LeBron pre-uses the ult, he knows exactly what... Top lane will move back as the wave starts to come in, but with Triforce, maybe Bin is afraid. One more Demolish proc, and this tower goes down. Yeah. Broken Blade feeling better about the fight. You highlighted it earlier. Jack's a little bit more attack speed, more damage in these sustained exchanges, but not enough damage to threaten this Scion, unfortunately.
Yep, he's got his plated steel caps.
700 bonus HP is not a feels good.
Yeah, and he
G2
just takes out these towers. It's definitely been a rough tournament so far for Broken Blade. This Jax being a bit behind here, but does have his training force at least.
Skewmon finding Knight, 1-2, waiting as long as he can for the ulti. Of course, doesn't have the cooldown this time around, but Caps does have an ulti of his, fishing for the charm. Knight, a casual sidestep, the heal, forced to come out. So many ifs in this play, but the ultimate truth is, Knight's footwork just better, and Caps and the heal calculation, well, they did not do the math correctly.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, another person dies. The game does not stop.
And it's Hansama.
Hansama taken down, and again, the scaling angle for G2 is getting further and further away. Broken Blade cannot stay in lane against Bin, cannot stop him from taking towers. Hansama cannot sit comfortably in the mid wave.
They've got their eyes on Broken Blade.
On, the Mantra Q comes out. Uses the tether now, knowing that Broken Blade will have no way out. Immediate response is the flick back. Counter-strike blocks some of the damage, but not nearly enough. Broken Blade taken down. Skewmond just in time.
There are multiple 2-item power spikes. Both BLG solo laners have their double item power spikes way out of reach.
Knight moving bottom lane. This time the charm connects. Knight doesn't have to quite have time to use anything else, and will immediately ult out as on flashes. Okay. Beishwan's running now too. Broken Blade, they're gonna stun him. What the heck is this sequence of play? Beishwan is gonna die! Okay, then they find a kill back! I'm sorry! What?
Are you not entertained?
Thank you.
Knight creates the wall, on flashes over, Beishwan is in there!
And this
is also in there!
We have witnessed the biggest strengths and biggest weaknesses of BLG in a single game. When they are on the same page, they are unstoppable. Right now, they seem to be on the same page. Broken Blade, not happy about this sequence as the slow is there, as is the decimating smash. So in the end, if we take all that play together, it's a 2-for-1.
Yeah. Plus a tower on the top side. Okay, a little bit something back. This one, of course, a secondary tower worth so much more than the first one, so BLG will get the better of it.
And you can see that Hansama just doesn't, again, needs to finish the Navori Flicker Blades because he wants that auto wave clear. Even then, though, a third item probably necessary before he can do much to this front line.
Yeah. Sivir so far behind here. And Dragon stacking plan for BLG is going to be it. So they will continue on that. It's pretty far out in the future, so we'll take Otacon first.
Skewmon on the way in. Or rather, Skewmon clone on the way in.
Caps has no teleport, so it's just a full trade here.
Yep.
The team-wide 800 gold of that top tower for the Otacon.
They can 1v1 Bin right now. Maybe Broken Blade with, 10 minutes, but lockdown there. Beishwan locked up.
Good pick.
Good damage. Caps wants to keep it going now on to Knight. Sidestep on the Unraveled Earth. The Seismic Shove won't catch him. But Bin now on the way down. Good news is they have the clone to give them that little bit of extra free vision. Bin fishing for a bit more, but BLG have just bullied them out. It's still 2 minutes to the objective, however, so G2 don't mind. Knight trying once again on the bottom side. Lebrov, rocket belt away. And they will be able to back off, possible.
Definitely is going to be painful because the sustain wait.
Secret Lebrov, flashback from Elf. The ulti does connect on him in the meantime. Bin now ready to follow. Decimating smash a little bit out of range, but the seismic shove makes everything okay. BLG, Beishwan now here. Knight continuing to chase. The follow-up damage as the arrows find their target. G2 once again forced back. 17 seconds till the soul, and they've already lost their support in jungle.
Great counter from BLG. Elk says, "You're not going to catch me sleeping." Flashes away, and BLG will take that as the key to the base of G2. They open up the front door, but now they turn back around.
So many poke champions with so many beefy frontliners.
Let's go deeper. In order to escape, we must go deeper.
The only way out is through, Kobe.
Yeah.
Another TP used. Skewmon running, tries to sidestep, knocked back into the wall. The rest of G2 posturing around Baron. He lives a little bit longer. Decent damage on Knight, but not enough to make the difference.
Like that, you're like, your risk tolerance goes way up.
Well, and the important thing to note is
we got to make something.
G2 do have a scaling angle. They just don't have the time to do it. So that's why you see the flank. Maybe it's for a Baron steal, maybe it's for the hope of a team fight. But after the early game went the way it did, with G2 solo lanes unable to find farm, Hansam only now getting half an item completed despite how much time they've spent on the map, you can tell why they would feel pressured to make a play like that, to leverage the most of a little angle that they have in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, and I don't think Ben is ever dying. This guy is so freaking monstrous in this game. Insane Scion right now.
And for G2, right, it's not a best of 3. It's not like last year, you're not done here. You have more time to rally. Fearless new champions have to be brought to bear.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, even though the core, the Ahri and the Vi have gotten a bit of work done as the ulti comes out. Skewmon getting the fight started, the TP there, but there's no one to follow up. Decimating smash, BrokenBlade able to fashion time. Looking for a two-man knockup. Flick back on Lebrov, trying to turn. He managed to get the back line. Actually, Skewmon goes in and it's Hansam on the side. The Simmer is contested. They managed to take him down. It's 1-for-1. Elk throws the arrow back. BrokenBlade going back in for another stun, but the team is not there beside him. G2 being zoned away from their own base. Hansama with the spell shield, managing to block a bit of damage. It's On who's going to be taken down, but no, the Mantra W buys him an extra second. Flash out from Hansama. G2 on the retreat, but it's a 3v3. They managed to find a good fight, but it just gets them to even. Skewmon flicked back, waiting to channel out. We'll be okay for now. Still a steady retreat. Knight likely to find the kill here. Skewmon goes back in. The extra shielding not enough, and Kobe, your prediction seems to be correct. Bin will not die, but he will continue to advance, trying not to give G2 any angles to cover or protect their mid-wave.
Taking tower shots for fun down here. Undeniable, unstoppable. Does get charmed up.
A little bit more true damage. TP now coming in. Varus returning to the fray, but Bin recalling. Has a TP of his own. They want to go for the throat. They want to end it here. Ulti goes wide. Charm still connecting. Eyes on Knight. The flick back could be big. Isn't going to hit. Caps 2 charges left. Bin standing in the midst of the towers, threatening to end the base. Counter-strike ready to go. BrokenBlade going to leap back. Caps going to go in. Health bars are getting lower, but G2 need to pull the trigger because it's Hansama who's been caught out. Elk manages to grab the kill. 2 low health towers. BLG on the cusp of match point. But G2 holding on as best they can. Weaver's Wall there. Zoning. Lebrov away. Skewmon going in under the backline trying to find Elk. The knockup is there from Bin though. Base 1 and Bin. The beefy frontliners to find the mid laner, and Elk is still alive. BLG pushing G2 back. Holding the line in G2's base and bringing it to match point.
Super. We're gonna select one lane to focus on. We're gonna do the Draven and the Olaf. I guess they decided. So they're gonna have the Senna scaling, which was nerfed. So the not gonna scale as quickly with the Soul generation. I believe it was 14 down to 10.
Yeah, BrokenBlade walking forward. All of BLG moving down. Locked in the cage briefly, not unstoppable yet. Hansama still here, gold card in, but BrokenBlade already down. BLG. They start to trade again.
Still here. Twisted Fate ult popped.
Twisted Fate ult going bot lane though. Now they know they can try and finish this play. Elk locked up for a moment. Hansama trying to step forward. They don't have the damage. The cleanse from Elk just allows them to walk that little bit extra away as BrokenBlade and LeBron very intelligently are walking into the wave. Poppy Ult goes out. It's going to knock back to support. Now it's BrokenBlade ghosting away. Knight on the way down. They know that he cannot go unstoppable. Bin flashing in. BrokenBlade trying desperately to get back to the tower. The Senna shield. It's too little too late as BLG find their man.
Again, wait a second. Bot side.
Yes. Flashes out. Finishes the job, makes good on the mistakes from game 2.
Oh, that was close. Caps gets him in the end, though. He's finishing up the minion wave as the teleport is coming through. Teleport finishes.
It's on the way in.
What's up, buddy?
Unsealed spellbook.
Ring around the rosy.
Ring around the rosy. We might see Gleaming Quill kill a man, which I never thought would be a thing, but Skewmond is there, ready to body block, and Caps makes it out.
Oh, nicely done from Caps. Under the tower, gets the better of Elk. That G2 definitely needed that, because remember the heart of their comp that we talk about, this Olaf at the end that they lock in, that has the opportunity to later on run through the entire team. It's just been focused down, and now
Beishwan knock up there. LeBron flashing away from the cage. Skewmond locked up for a moment.
He gets escorted out by Skewmond. Meanwhile,
okay, Roman.
I don't know if that was in reaction to the top.
Billion years ago.
Remember when the teleport was a basic ability? Yeah. Anyway, right now we're playing
overload bottom side, rush down tower. Honestly, it is good. Honestly, it is good here for G2. They can get this one, and even though they're behind on the kills, all these cleanses with the spellbooks over too. Wait a second.
Caps caught out. Elk looking to follow up. All the stacks together. Beishwan, nice angle, flash over the wall, but it's gold card. Quick cleanse to come through. No real angle in. Lebrov does have all of his cooldowns alongside the locket, so he can block a lot of that upfront damage. And we did just see Beishwan and Elk both use ultis. BLG taking their time on this one. A lot of CS being deleted in the mid wave in the meantime, but it's really tough for Hansama to step up solo. Broken Blade gonna go all in again the second that axe connects. Bin level 11, but he's not too concerned. Caps on the way down. Gold card over. Beishwan finally coming in. Senna ulti over the top. Bin trying to hold on. Knockback from Beishwan is big, and Broken Blade goes down. The play again turns against them. Bin is still standing. Dominus doing so much as BLG find 2.
Oh, G2 want this Olaf to be powerful later so badly, but BLG have put a stop to it from literally level 1 in the game. The third kill, they take down the Olaf, even with the Twisted Fate and the Senna ultimate used.
It's not enough to sustain. The charm lands on Lebrov, and down he goes. Level 11 for Knight, just in time for rank 2 in that ulti, and a quick kill onto Lebrov. Skewmond trying to hold the line, but it is all falling apart for G2. The TF was helping them hold on to that wall.
Use the wall.
The ulti expires. One spell away from Seraphs. 3 minutes away from getting the Roa finally up, and I feel like a death cap might be coming, Kobe. We're well ahead of schedule for this Veigar.
I hope so. I feel like all Veigar builds should include a death cap. Then you can get fun stuff too, like Dead Man's Plate and stuff sometimes they get. But okay, G2 pushing in on the tower at least. They do get this tower, but look at the mini-map. That Veigar is getting solo tower gold with the Rift Trail. Got solo secondary tower gold. Is not gonna get another charge off, but is gonna be richer.
TPing on the way. G2 kind of want to finish this tower. One more auto might do with the grubs. Caps arriving. Good CC, but Knight is untouched. The cage goes down, locking up multiple members of G2. Broken Blade unstoppable. No mistakes. Loser of that final best of 5 will be eliminated. Winner will be our second to qualify. But BLG on that road to locking in the first seed out of play-ins. As now Caps knocked into the sky. BLG immediately descending. The Kaisa so easy to follow up.
His teammate here and everybody up by Otacon now. Look at Beishwan is going through mid lane. He showed himself on the tower. He's behind.
Has he been caught out? Nice steadfast presence to block the immediate fall of Elk. Still here, on the way, and keep your eyes on that Rakan as Beishwan gets lower and lower. Just a little bit of healing coming into the Gleaming Quill will keep him alive.
That flank was so deep it went and showed by the secondary tower. Now he's chunked out for Dragon. Dragon is available. Beishwan has to recall. He gets scouted out. They can try and poke stop his recall.
Dead Man's means a quick retreat. Every ulti except for Olaf's on the side of G2 unavailable. But with Beishwan out, there should be a Drake for G2, and this gives them a new lease on life. This buys them so much more time to get their items.
Yeah.
BLG still posturing. They love looking for these exit kills around objectives. But as long as G2 don't fumble, there's not a lot to look for here in Caps. G2, the downside is they earned that tempo. They killed Beishwan. They spent it all getting that Dragon. And
4-1 split push, having been on top side. Caps is kind of hovering there with Twisted Fate ultimate ready, so this jungle fight.
They weren't ready, they didn't know the ward was there. The instant follow-up coming over the wall from Elk. Skewmond trying to retreat as best he can. Beishwan on a killing spree, and down goes Hansama.
Great angle from on there.
The Prof doesn't make it over the wall!
Yeah, he was toast no matter. He was toast no matter what. On C's, this Senna, and you're like, you have no flash, buddy. You are in the wrong jungle. Takes him down. They're going for Bin though. Try and get a counter kill for G2.
Human blast cone going back. Bin exhausted. The pillar trying to prevent the escape, but Knight is here. The cage goes down. Broken Blade using the ulti, wants to go face first into Knight, but Knight does a hell of a lot of damage. The Olaf! He's not powerful enough to survive.
Too far behind. Little rage push.
Gotta get something. Just a bit of gold as Knight finds Skewmon. BLG uncontested. They will get the Baron. See how much they can make for their next match. It's a tough spot to be. 2 spots there for plans. A series tomorrow. And hope still as they hold on in this game 3. It's a long road to win this series. Even to win this game or this next fight. Rapid fire cannon there for Caps. Can maybe fish for those picks, but Beishuan grabs third Drake completely uncontested. BLG pushing mid, pushing bot. Lockdown there. Cage laid out. Bin going for the stun. Ulti's onto Broken Blade. Broken Blade ultiing back. A little bit more shielding as Knight flashes away from the Olaf. Just refuses to give them even an inch. Skewmon will fall as well. BLG, the push back into the wall. Caps ready with the cleanse. Quick on the trigger, gold card ready to go. Lock up there, but there's no one else from G2 available. 3 out of 5 dead. BLG pushing, could just look for the end here.
Oh, they're doing that all right. I mean, Bin is already knocking down mid. They're going to tower dive past this inhibitor tower,
Stun.
into the Nexus towers.
On to Beishuan. Oh, the damage from Vigor. Vigor hitting hard. Beishuan, the rest of the team pushing in.
We're going to end this game before I get my death cap, so
I want more stacks.
let's do that mid-eyes upgrade, baby.
See if LeBron will oblige him. Does manage to make it out. He's so fast. Elk's going in anyway. Good pillar to interrupt from Skewmon. Elk taking a lot of damage back. Gold card still hitting, but has the Seekers forced to use it. Beishuan off to the side. Skewmon looking to body block any skill shots that come through, and BLG looking to make their final push. And it has just been such a difficult final game here for G2 from that first blood all the way through. BLG not giving up anything, really. Again, a good interrupt from Skewmon. Beishuan forced to flash out. Even as one hand goes to strike, the other appears on the top side. Holding onto the tower, getting a few more souls for Hans Sama. At least you hope so, because the alternative is probably not a lot.
Yeah, don't worry about the enemy scaling, but we are. Okay, teleports come here. Bin in the bottom river. He's going to go for it.
On the side. Bin looking for the flank. Baby Cage laid down a little bit earlier on, finding a nice engage. G2 trying to hold the line. Caps moving into the back line to try and take out Knight, but it might be too late. Broken Blade living for a little bit longer than expected, but Elk is just too damn strong. Hans Sama down. Broken Blade down. Knight godlike, and G2 about to be sent to the lower bracket.
They certainly are. They're going to chase down Caps first as well. Beishuan's on the way to set up Knight for another one.
Godlike wasn't enough for a player like Knight. He had to go legendary. Bin continues the push. Skewmon does what he can. It's a last desperate hold to clear the way, but it will not be enough. Bin unafraid of towers, certainly unafraid of Trundle. Willing to give up a GA just to go for another kill as BLG, from start to finish, the better team on the day. They have been dominant every stage of play-ins. And as the inhibitor respawns, G2 are praying that that is the miracle.
It's a cruel joke. It goes on longer.
Hans Sama not enough. BLG move on to the main stage.
Woo. All right, that
There's a correlation.
We had a little bit over there.
There was a little I remember maybe a little bit of hope. There were a few times.
Hold on to that.
I'm holding on to that for
Tomorrow's
tomorrow.
a new day.
It absolutely is. And again, I just hope the boys can rally. This is a rough, it's been a rough year thus far, but we'll see how it works out for G2. For now, we're joining Emily and Knight for the Verizon post-game interview.
Thank you so much, Dracos. I am here with Wendy and Knight and all of Knight's BLG fans standing in front of me. Gongxi, congratulations on making it to the main stage. talk to me about this Vigar pick into the Twisted Fate. Why did you choose Vigar specifically, and how much did you prepare to let Twisted Fate through this draft?
那首先恭喜你们获得今天比赛的胜利，也成功挺进下一轮的争夺当中。首先想要问到的是英雄选择的问题，第3局的时候也选出了小法来面对到对面的卡牌，所以说也想问一下选择这个英雄的背景，以及说怎么样可能在面对卡牌的对局当中来尽可能的发挥呢？
因为我们去年赛事尝试过小法波比这组合的吧，就感觉打卡牌也比较好，所以就选用了。然后比赛打卡牌的时候就要一直报 miss 嘛，就有点麻烦。
So actually in the screens and in the normal practices, we have already prepared like the Poby and the Vigar pick, and we feel like it could be a very good encounter for the Twisted Fate mid lane. So we try to give it a try for today's game. And actually in the actual game, we feel like Twisted Fate always missing around the map, so it's a little bit troublesome for us.
I still think you did great. Beishwan had previously said in an interview he was brought onto this BLG team to make you more coordinated with each other. You look very well coordinated today and throughout this play-in stage. So what has it been like working with Beishwan, and what has he brought to the team?
那在之前的一些采访当中，北川选手也有提到说，可能他在加入到这个 BLG 的大家庭之后，你们不断的磨合成长，然后现在也是不断在进化嘛。所以说也想问一下，因为你们今天在比赛当中也展现出了非常好的竞技力，你觉得可能和他一起打比赛是个什么样的感受？你觉得北川选手给现在的 BLG 可能注入了哪些不一样的活力呢？
我觉得北川选手是非常有潜力的吧，就他操作还有意识都非常好吧，就可能就缺少大赛的经验，所以我们就一步一步陪着他打就行。
I must say, Beichuan is a great player and he really got the potential. He can really did a super good job in all the mechanics and macro. What he lacked maybe for this moment is the experiences, especially in the international events. So what we need to do is really to work hard all together and try ourselves to just make more growth in the future.
Having qualified to the main stage, is there any mid laner you're specifically looking forward to facing?
那接下来也进入到下一轮的争夺当中，那么多非常优秀的中单选手当中，有没有 Knight 选手特别想要面对的呢？
先打 Faker 吧，因为上次输给了他。不想和 Faker 交手，因为上次就 BO5输给了他嘛，这次想复仇一下。
Definitely, I like to face off against Faker in this MSI because last time we just got a loss against Faker in the best of 5. Though this time, I like to just try my best to take the revenge.
That ties into my last question. You actually won MSI 2023 with JDG against your current org, BLG. So what are BLG going to do to bring the MSI trophy back to the LPL?
那其实，在23年的时候，Knight 选手和北京 JDG 一起夺得了当年的 MSI 的冠军，并且在决赛的舞台当中，也是面对到现在你所在的 BLG 嘛。所以说，你觉得今年如果你们想要再一次的把 MSI 的冠军奖杯捧回 LPL 的话，你觉得 BLG 需要做到哪些呢？
我觉得现在 BLG 其实也是非常强的嘛，就我们面对任何对手都有机会赢的。就23年可能赢了他们，就没和队友一起拿冠军吧，就今年还他们一个。
So definitely I must say, for now, BLG is still a super strong team. I feel like we got the potential to win against any opponent on stage. So back in 2023, I beat BLG in the grand final. So this time, I'll take the responsibility to help my teammates to bring this trophy back to BLG.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you so much, Knight. 谢谢. We will toss it back to the desk to close out the day.
Thank you so much, Emily and Wendy, of course, and a lot of motivation coming on the side of Knight here, who qualifies for the main stage with the rest of BLG. 3-0. Dracos, thank you for joining us. Multi-talent today, host, analyst, caster. Welcome back to the desk.
Depressive LEC fanboy. I feel like
be both of you guys' therapist. I can take
Raz
on
is
that
going to
role.
join us, I guess.
I have a high rate though.
Okay, so first off, obviously credit to BLG before I complain. But